Have you fallen out of love with Football Manager as the game cycle comes slowly towards the end and you're looking for one last save that you can perhaps do from now until the release of FM25? Then look no further than this video. In this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 unique saves that you can do right now in Football Manager 2024 without any mods or anything like that. This is going to be unique to you and you're going to absolutely love these suggestions. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. But now, let's get into that top 5. First up, why not take yourself off to a far-flung place? Now, not many people do saves out in Asia, and particularly they don't do saves in Indonesia. Indonesians absolutely love football. I've been to Bali before and absolutely soaked up the atmosphere of Champions League games there and local league games as well. Bali is a fantastic island. You've seen stuff. If you haven't, go and Google it. It's got some fantastic beaches. It's got great beach clubs, all of that kind of stuff. And immerse yourself into this save by taking on Bali United. Now, I love this team. I have shirts from this team as I went on honeymoon there. And I feel like they're a great team that you can build up in Asia. Indonesian football is waiting for a big explosion. You could also take on the Indonesian national side as well and try and turn the Indonesian league into the best league in the world and try and win the World Cup and Asian Nations Cup with Indonesia. But kicking it off with Bali would be my 5th choice. We'll take a look at the club's finances. 900k in Indonesia is a lot of money, let me tell you something. Bali, one of the richer islands in Indonesia as well. Now, if we take a look at the club vision, the club vision is simple. Work within the budget. Maximum 1-year contract, 2-year contracts, first team players. Record a top half finish and be competitive in the cup. Now, you probably want to do more than that with the squad that they have got. Let me tell you, they've got some very decent players at this level. Some very Eber Bessa is a quality Brazilian player. Box-to-box midfield player, is an absolute star of this side and a star of the Indonesian league. Let me tell you, this guy has a lot of talent for the level of league he is playing in. Now, another player I like is Basim Rashid. He is a Palestinian international. Big up Palestine. I mean, this guy is absolutely cracked. Probably one of Palestine's better players, in my humble opinion. I don't know too much about their football inside, but hopefully they can take on some big wins and push the nation forward in the future. Other players that I really love is Moringa in goal, another Brazilian player playing out in Indonesia. The weather's lovely there. Similar to Brazil, in my humble opinion. Very hot, very warm, nice beaches, all of that kind of good stuff. Immerse yourself in it. Immerse yourself in the Indonesian league. Now, let me show you the Indonesian league just before we move on to the next save recommendation. Now, you can see the teams that you've got in here. You may not recognize any of them, but Perceive are one of the biggest ones in the league, and they'll be the ones that are challenging you. Bali are supposed to finish mid-table, so you could even push into the top half of the table with the right tactics, with the right team, and with the right squad building. You could become one of Asia's biggest and best leagues. Now, Indonesian Premier League is below the Syrian League, below Singapore, and below the Philippines as well. So if you were taking on that Build a Nation challenge, it would be a big challenge to overtake leagues like Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Australia, etc. Will you take Bali on? I'm saying you definitely should. I predict a riot, Ruby. I mean, they're all great songs, and the Kaizer Chiefs are a great side as well. This team will be absolutely great to pick out in South Africa. They've produced some good players down the years. They've had some good players play for them as well. We all know that they produce some very good young players out in South Africa in Football Manager. I've had a few very cheap ones, very good ones, and most of them have actually come from Kaizer Chiefs, who were formed in 1970. They're a very good side out in South Africa, one of South Africa's best, in my humble opinion. They've won a lot of titles as well. Now, this save I'll have you singing I Predict a Riot if you're not doing very well. But if we take a look at the club vision, you can work within the budget, win the South African Premier League, challenge for the cups, and be competitive in the Super 8 as well. You'll obviously want to get towards the African Champions League as well at some point. That would be great. You could even use this to kick off a Pentagon challenge if you didn't want to start unemployed in that challenge and make it a little bit easier for you. Again, you could use it as a Build a Nation as well. You could do what you want with this save, and that's why I picked them. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that you could do with the Kaizer Chiefs. 1.8 million is massive in South Africa in terms of value for football. Overall balance as well. Take a look at debt. No transfer debt, no net debt. Very good for an African side not to have that as well. And if we take a quick look at the squad, Edison Castillo is a Venezuelan international playing in the middle of the park in South Africa. Very good player for this level and a very good player for you as you kick off this save. Now, I'm not going to be able to pronounce most of these players' names, so I'm just going to call him Sibon. Looks very good. Looks like a decent player. Got good transfer values. Got great work rate in the middle of the park. He would be an absolute baller on this save. Now, Given is a given to be in your team. He is a centre-back, 26-year-old South African. Probably the best centre-back you will have at the football club, and they do have some other talented players as well. If we take a look at players by potential, left winger, 18-year-old Madzuzi Shabalala. I've definitely killed his name, but he would be great. He's a definite South African international for the future. Definitely got big potential, will be a great player. Play him, develop him, will be a big-time baller. Will you take on the challenge? Will you manage in Africa and challenge yourself and get yourself back into Football Manager by doing a save in Africa? It's summertime and you may be going here. It's Tenerife. Now, it's usually, if you don't want to go to Ibiza and pay ridiculous money to get into clubs out there and buy overpriced drinks and bottles of water for 15 euros, then Tenerife is your place. It has an absolutely great strip. Now, this isn't a travel channel. I have been here many times on stag do's, holidays, and I can highly recommend it if you are young enough to go there. It is absolutely class. Why not manage the football team? I mean, just why not? If you're going to party it up in Tenerife, you might as well party it up on the pitch with them as well. The club vision is very simple. Sign players for profit, grow the club, record a second half finish. Obviously, your fierce rivals are Ibiza, the other party island. You got to kick them off the party island scene and become the #1 club in terms of partying in Spain. Now, I'm not disrespecting the Tenerife Football Club. They are a great football club, and it's all tongue-in-cheek at the end of the day. But 4.8 million in the bank and no net debt and no transfer debt. It's fairly decent. Fairly decent. Got some misc debt there, but, you know, it looks a lot, but it's misc debt. Shouldn't really affect you too much. Now, the squad is fairly good. Let's just say it should be good enough to keep you up in the league, in my humble opinion. You've got Roberto Lopez on loan from Real Sociedad. He's got some great technicals. This guy is not a second division player. Let me tell you something. He looks fairly good at this level. Waldo is another winger that you've got. He's fairly decent, 27 years of age, coming into his prime, can play right, can play left, potentially at cam as well. Not too bad for Waldo there. Sounds a little bit like a Super Mario victim, but here we go. Juan Soriano is an experienced goalkeeper, very good at this level. They've got a cracking squad. You may be going there anyway. Pick up a shirt whilst you're there and make sure you party on the pitch and off the pitch with Tenerife. We hop across the pond to party in Miami this time. And if, like me, you're stuck in 2015, not just my haircut, my looks, or my attitude, then Inter Miami is the perfect place for you because they have got 2015's Barcelona side in their team. They've got players like Lionel Messi, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, and even Tato Martino, I think, was their coach in real life at some point. He may still be the coach, but obviously you're going to be the coach, and this could be your last chance of managing the mercurial talent, the world-class talent, the absolute GOAT, Lionel Messi, for the last time in Football Manager. He may be an FM25. I don't think he's got any plans to retire yet, but you should take on Inter Miami just for that reason, so you can manage Messi, Alba, and Busquets. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you do it? It's just Messi, Alba, and Busquets. I mean, like, quality, top-notch. Grow the club's reputation. Obviously, with Inter Miami, you can forget all of this. You have to win the MLS. If you've got Messi in your team, you definitely need to win the MLS. Finances, very strong, 123 million. No net debt. I mean, it is David Beckham's side, so you'd expect him to put some funds in there. Obviously, you've got Messi. You've got Luis Suarez in there as well, another former Barcelona player who's still top-notch at MLS level. Let me tell you, Jordi Alba's in there as well, as priorly mentioned. Players like Busquets can still control the game from defensive midfield for you. So you've got a top-notch spine building already. Okay, they are a little bit old, but you do have some young talents to go alongside them. Thomas Alaviles, I've definitely killed his name, but he's a top-notch Argentine centre-back with plenty of ability. Diego Gomez is a Metzela, Paraguayan in the middle of the park. So Inter Miami really pulling on that South American flair for their team. Combining that with the experience of Messi, Alba, Suarez, you're going to be unstoppable. And like me, if you've made it this far into the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Come on, boys. Will you take on Inter Miami and make Messi the best player in the world once again? My last suggestion isn't any specific team. It is to start unemployed in the game and work your way through as many league titles as you can. A system that I'm calling around the world. Now, what this means is you have to win all the leagues around the world in the game. So you can start off at any country you want, win their top leagues. And once you've won that top league, try and move on to another club in a division where you can win a separate league. Now, you can add in, you have to win European trophies or the domestic cup as well. But see how many leagues you can collect between now and the end of the FM24 cycle. And I would love to hear about how many leagues you've won in our Discord, on TikTok, wherever you want to tell me, wherever you want to post it. Even comment underneath this video and send it to me via email. I don't mind. I want to see these saves. And if you do this, I'll take the best of your saves if you're willing to share it and have it on this channel and show off how many leagues you've actually won via this around the world challenge. I feel like this is the best save you can do right now in Football Manager, and nothing else is going to take its crown because you can move from team to team. You've got flexibility as well. It's an unbelievable challenge, and I feel like the best challenge right now in Football Manager 2024. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if not, I'll see you on another one.